All right, welcome to today's technical training session. We're going to talk about hooking up the Pico oscilloscope up to the tech stream and just get it prepared to measure a simple circuit. So once you get the kit and open it up, you've got the Pico interface box. There are two probes, so you can actually use this like a digital multimeter as well. There's a box with alligator clips, large and small. I have one of the large ones out already. There are two clamp-on ammeters. This one measures up to 60 amps and it has a 20 amp and a 60 amp setting. The second larger all gray one measures up to 600 amps. We'll talk about those in a separate session. And then it comes with acupuncture backpin probes. I have one of those out already too as well. And then in the back side of the kit, we're going to need the USB cable that came with the kit. And then there are also, if I was using one of the amp clamps in the fuse panel underneath here, I could use this in conjunction with the amp clamp to measure the circuit fuse amperage load. And then I'm going to grab one of the 10-foot or 3-meter leads that we'll need to hook the oscilloscope up to the circuit we're going to be checking. So I'll get that out. Got the box out. I'm going to move the kit out of the way and get going. This is actually a lot simpler to hook up and use than you would think. I'm going to turn on the tech stream. While that's loading up, I'm going to take and I'm going to attach the USB cable that came with the kit. It's important to use the PicoScope certified USB cable. It's a heavy-duty cable and has the correct grounds, so the PicoScope interface box can communicate properly with the tech stream. So we're going to get that ready as well. I'm going to put the one port in the USB port of the tech stream, and then I'm going to put the other end into the scope unit itself. And once I've done that and it's started to communicate with the tech stream unit, you'll see a solid red light. Once I load the software and it's fully communicating, that light should flash on and off. Those are two good diagnostic things to look at if you're having trouble getting the PicoScope to work with the tech stream. And then I'm going to basically attach the cable to channel A. There are two channels on the scope. Most all the dealerships got a 2-channel scope. Some opted for a 4-channel. They would have a channel C and a D. So I've attached this to channel A of the oscilloscope. I'm going to take my back probe pin, put it in the red lead, get it kind of ready here. I'm going to back probe a circuit in the fuse panel that I've checked ahead of time, and that's the circuit that I want to do. Now, one of the most important steps, the last thing I need to hook up, is this alligator clip to go to a known good ground. I'm working right next to the battery, so I'm going to use the battery ground. It's amazing how this ground can affect the signal that I'm going to look at on the oscilloscope. If I was using channel B, also, I don't need to hook up a ground for that. Inside the box, there's a bus bar. So as long as I ground one of them, whether it's channel B or channel A, that's all I need to do. I don't need to ground both of them. So I'm going to attach this to the battery ground connection. And now I have my basic setup. All that's left is to load the software, a TMS launcher. You have to be a little bit patient. Now it comes up with this menu bar right here. If I log the vehicle in, make, model, year, engine code, and transmission code, there may be scope patterns in there that I can use, known goods to compare to what I have. We'll cover that in a separate one. I'm just going to hit skip. Now, I don't have the ignition on or anything like that, so once I get the software to load, you have to be patient a little bit. There we go. It is ready to go. I am showing 0 volts. One of the things you have to be careful of is when I'm in the auto setting right here, it'll keep zooming in and it's now on plus or minus 50 millivolts. I can also see that the red light is flashing. So I have communication fully between the interface box and the software on the tech stream. My next step would be to turn the ignition on or whatever circuit I'm going to measure and then work with that. And we'll cover using the automatic setup button and some other buttonology in another video. I hope you found this informative, and it really is easy to use the oscilloscope.